Right. Type of tissue?
Hyaline.
What's this?
Craigwood.
Tissue?
Hyaline.
Yep. This is the epiglottis.
Oh, we cut through it?
That's okay. I don't think you cut through it. I think it's sort of bilobe. There's the other half of it over here. This is the glottis, this opening going down into the esophagus. So that epiglottis is usually this. And so what's the function of this epiglottis?
Closes off the trachea while food is being swallowed.
Yep. And tissue type?
Elastic. Cartilage.
Yep. Gotta say cartilage for full credit. Trachea. Easy. The more stuff that we get rid of, the easier it'll be for you guys next week. This is still the trachea. These things have a huge thorax. See, there it is.
Oh, wow.
So I'm cleaning off all this junk. It's vascular stuff.
Why is the trachea ribbed like that?
These are hyaline cartilage rings.
Does that just keep it open?
Yeah, exactly. Helps keep it open 24 hours a day when we're asleep, when we're lying down. Whereas the esophagus is usually collapsed unless we are actively swallowing food. And these rings in the trachea are C-shaped, meaning there's an opening in the back where the esophagus is. So a giant bolus of food in the esophagus can do this, and the trachea can accommodate that. Make sense?
Yeah, it'll stretch out a little bit.
Yep. All right, so we follow the trachea down. Then I need to say something loudly. Hey guys, I was wrong about the lobes of the lung. There's 2 on the left, 3 on the right, and 1 in the middle. I was thinking of the cat, okay? It's not 3 and 3. Were you going crazy looking for it? Yeah, that's why I'm saying this loudly. It's 3 on the right, 2 on the left, and 1 in the middle, okay? So don't go crazy. Let's ready. I'm just gonna. There's the primary bronchi. I know right where to look for.
Oh.
There's the left. There's the right. See that branch?
Yeah,
that V
totally.
that it made? So the primary bronchi are really short. That's all the longer the left side is, and the right side's even shorter. That's all the longer it is. Now I'm just going to arbitrarily pick a lung lobe to follow. There's a secondary right here, the beginning of a secondary going into this right anterior lobe. See it? So primary is only from here to here. Then this is a secondary going into this lung lobe. I know I forgot to tell you guys about this trick of scraping this lung tissue. So this is all a secondary, and then you can see the tertiaries branching off of it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Are you guys okay in digestive business?
Yeah, I think.
We have
Pancreas.
some questions.
Okay,
Is
sure.
this the gallbladder right here? This little balloon thing?
That's it.
Okay.
Perfect, that's it.
And then
then
we're confused with the pancreas. This is
The liver
stomach.
is gigantic. This is the stomach.
Oh.
Let's see. Yep. So I'm just going to orient myself a little bit. This is the stomach.
Okay.
This is the anterior part of the stomach. So the esophagus comes down. Let's do this. There's the esophagus.
Okay.
And you can do that all the way up if you want. There's the esophagus. If I follow it down to the diaphragm, it's probably the vagus nerve or something right here. So I'm following the esophagus down to the diaphragm. Right when it goes through the diaphragm is where the esophagus hooks up with the stomach. See that white bit of tissue?
Yeah.
That's where we find the gastroesophageal sphincter.
Okay.
So here's the stomach, and food comes in here, and it leaves right here. So this is the duodenum. This wide section that I'm holding is the duodenum or duodenum.
Okay.
The pancreas, I always find the spleen,
Same.
and then I find the duodenum. I lift up the stomach. This is all greater omentum. I can get rid of this.
Okay.
I'm just going to be careful not to get rid of the pancreas in the meantime. Pancreas is probably in this tissue, and it is. Here's some of it.
Is this possibly?
No, that's the greater omentum. You guys didn't cut it out.
I knew I was right.
No, you coffee. Damn it.
The pancreas on this thing is pretty obliterated.
I'm diabetic now.
But the other one that I just saw is not much better. I can tell this is pancreatic tissue, so let's eliminate what we can and keep the stuff that's more obvious. This is pancreatic tissue going underneath the stomach. This is pancreatic tissue. Find where it hooks up to the duodenum. Sometimes if you pull up on the duodenum, you'll see the pancreas in this, but I don't see it in here, so. Actually, yours is super dark. See that? The
That's
opposite of
it.
what it usually is. It's usually the color of this fat. This is it.
Oh my god.
That's why you missed it, and that's why I missed it too. What?
No, so we're both wrong.
Okay, let's get rid of all this business so it'll be more obvious. I'm also going to say something really loudly to the class. Guys, I'm finding out that the pancreas in these things is dark, not light. It's typically light. It's this dark.
Oh, that is dark. Dark meat.
Never a dull day, right? This is actually this is the tail of the pancreas that broke off in this tissue. That goes over. Sorry, did I get you? It goes over by the.
So yeah.
You won't get much. Go ahead. Good luck. So this is the tail of the pancreas, right here. This is pancreatic tissue.
Okay.
That we can get rid of. Stomach, duodenum. This is all the small intestines. This is the large intestine. So if I go backwards,
Just follow it.
yeah, I'm gonna go backwards. See if I can find the ileocecal valve. This is the ileum. See in my left hand, the diameter of this tube is pretty thin, and in my right hand it's thick. Right at this transition point is where the ileocecal valve is, okay? That's how you'll tell on test day. So always, on the digestive system stuff in particular, always recognize, if you're not sure, recognize what's next to it on both sides of it. So if I stick a pin right here, and you see, oh, that's wide, that's small. This has got to be the cecum. This has got to be the ileum. And so if I say name this structure, I want ileocecal sphincter. If I stick a pin in here, you can just say large intestine. I only put the sections of the large intestine. I start and put in the human. In the mink, we're not going to find those sections.
Okay.
You can just call it large intestine. I forgot to put the functions up there, by the way, on the large intestine. So I'm going to do that.
All right. Thank you.
You know, the liver, the gallbladder. Before we pack it in, I'm going to try. Don't worry, I'm not.